Hello, everybody. This is a week 2 of our computer literacy class. And the module 2 is about the internet connecting and communicating online. Okay. So the module objectives. So at the end of this video, you will be able to discuss the evolution of the internet, describe how to use the web, identify techniques for connecting to the internet, explain various online activities and services, identify considerations for staying safe online, discuss ways to use social networks, describe how to conduct and evaluate online searches, and identify consideration for using online content. So the web, which was originally known as World Wide Web, is a service consisting of websites located on computers around the world, connected through the internet. Be careful, web is not the same thing as internet. The web is like an electronic library, collection of documents. Okay, so whereas the internet is a global collection of millions of computers linked together to share information. Once again, the reason for internet, the interconnectivity or internet, is just to share information. Each of the networks on the internet provides resources that add to abundance of goods, services, and information accessible via the internet. So you can see that internet is made up of different networks: network 1, network 2, network 3, network 3, 2, 3, network 4, millions all over the world. So each of these can be from different locations, but the general name that combines all the possible networks is what we call internet. So the internet has its roots in networking project that was started by Pentagon's Advanced Research Project Agency, APA. It was started in US, okay? The Pentagon building, an agency of the US Department of Defense. So DOD, US Department of Defense, started the internet. The goal of APA was to build a network that enables scientists in various locations to share information. They can even function if part of the network was disabled. So if you have different network, this is one part, another part, they are connected together. They are linked together like that. If one of these is disabled, the rest can still work. So that is the essence of APA originally. APA is what? Advanced Research Project Agency. Okay, the original ARPANET. Now, when you say ARPANET now, it means Advanced Research Project Agency Network. Consisted of 4 main computers. Imagine, the first project started with 4 computers. Now we have millions, each one located at the University of California in Los Angeles. Wow. The University of California in Santa Barbara, and the Stanford Research Institute, and the University of Utah. So these 4 internet started from those 4 universities: University of California, Los Angeles, University of California, Santa Barbara, University, Stanford Research Institute, and the University of Utah. Each of these computers serve as a host on the network. Each of them serve as a host on the network. That's the brief definition of evolution of computers, advanced research project agency. 4 universities combined together. Initially, it was what? 4 networks, 4 laptops, 4 computers connected together. Okay, now we talk about bandwidth is used to describe the capacity of the communication medium channel. Okay, that's the bandwidth. This is me, this is you. I'm sending information over the internet. This medium, how many capacity, how many can this medium, information can this medium contains, is called the bandwidth. Net neutrality is the concept that one website has the same value or priority as the other one, resulting in equal unrestricted access to each site. That is the meaning of net neutrality. Then there is the concept of internet service provider, ISP. Is a company that provides internet services. Okay. Someone like Xfinity, AT&T, and so on and so forth. They sell internet service who must provide the same level of service to all websites, regardless of content or purpose. Wow. Look at that word. That is very, very hard. That is very, very, very huge. Regardless of what you are using the internet for. Your ISP must provide it for you according to law. So the ARPANET map started, ARPANET network map from 1974. Remember, Advanced Research Project Agency Network. 4 computers from 4 universities. University of California in Los Angeles, University of California in, I think, San Diego, and Santa Barbara, University of Stanford Research Institute, and University of Utah. They started with 4, and now it has spread all over the world. So look at the question. A company that provides services for accessing the internet is called ISP, Internet Service Provider. A company that provides, it's called ISP, right? Now, a web page, when you open UVA-wise, for instance, when you open UVA-wise, that's a web page. A specially formatted document that can contain text, graphics, sound, videos, and links to other web pages. The content of most web pages is designed to make them visually appealing and easy to find. Look at that word. Your web page must be what? Visually appealing. Visually appealing and easy to find. Web pages are either static or dynamic. So when you build a web page, either your web page is static or dynamic. By contrast, the content of the web page is regenerated each time you display it. That is called dynamic. But static web page, when you click when you go into a website 100 times, you keep seeing the same thing all the time. But a dynamic web page, by contrast, the content is regenerated each time you display it. So dynamic web page may contain customized content such as current date, time of the day, desired stock codes, weather for a region, ticket availability for flight. Now, hyperlink is a name for, when you're on a web page and at the base here, you click something here, it takes you to another page. That is called hyperlink. That is called hyperlink. That's called hyperlink. So a collection of related web pages and the associated items such as documents, photos, which is stored on a web server, is called a website. It's called a website. It's called a website. It's called a website. A web server is a computer that delivers requested web pages to your computer. Now, when you go on Google, and you type a name, just type United States on Google, and you press enter on your keyboard, you are making a request from a web server. There is a machine somewhere far away from you or close to you where the information containing United States is stored. So when you use a web browser like Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, and you are searching for information, you are accessing those information, requesting those information from web server. Okay. Now, we have what is called responsive web design. This kind of web design is very scalable and it adapts to the layout of the website to fit the screen on which it is being displayed. So when a website is responsive, it can do well on your mobile phone, on your iPad, on your laptop easily. And to develop website, you need some implementation tool. One of them is hypertext markup language, which is a set of codes that developers can use to specify the headings, the paragraphs, images, links, and other contents that a website contains. Okay. In fact, to build a website, you will need at least these three: HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. This one alone, you can do it, and this one you can do. But when you combine the use of these three, it makes your website to be dynamic. When you combine JavaScript, HTML, CSS. Okay, so HTML is one of the core technologies for developing web pages, and it is called hypertext markup language, alongside with CSS, cascading style sheets. HTML specify web page layouts. CSS is used to specify content design and appearance. Now, when you make up the paragraph, the body, the heading, and the title, you can do those ones with HTML. But when you are looking at the background color, the appearance, the beauty of the page, you are going to be using what? CSS to do that. And if you are looking at making the page more dynamic, you will be using what is called JavaScript to do that. Okay. Now, when you open your iPad or your phone and you open your browser like Apple Safari, Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Mozilla Firefox, this is the interface between you and the web server. When you type anything on any of these, you are making a request from the web server from somewhere else. Okay, I continue. Websites often use cookies, which are small text files that are generated by a web server to store information such as item you view or purchase on an e-commerce website. So when you, on your laptop, on your devices, when you visit a website, okay, the web server we generate some text file, which is kind of a logs of users, activity logs for users. The browser also keeps tracks of pages you have viewed in sequence by using what is called breadcrumbs, the path you follow to display a web page. There is a navigation bar in a browser, which include buttons such as back and forward that you can use to revisit web pages along the breadcrumb path. So I've told you an example of a browser: Google Chrome, Explorer, Microsoft Edge, Safari. Okay, now a browser displays the URL for the current page in its address. The URL is another name for, is an acronym for Uniform Resource Locator. Is a unique address, website address of the document. Look at this one now. You have https www.cengage.com student/index.html. This is called a URL. That's called a URL. Okay, and now let's look at URL properly. This is the first part here is called protocol. This is how you type it: HTTP or HTTPS, depending. Double forward slash www.uvay.edu. Now, this first part is called a protocol, and HTTP is an acronym for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Hypertext Transfer Protocol. And www.cengage.com entirely is called a server address. And cengage.com is called a domain name. And after .com, everything here is called a path. And this is actually the name of the web page. This is where you store information about the source code of your website is in this folder. Okay, so if I type https www.uvaywise.edu. So this one here is the protocol. Everything here, my file. Everything here is the what? Server address. Server address. But only uvaywise.edu is called domain. Domain name. It's called domain name. It's called domain name. Okay, and an IP address is a unique number that consists of 4 sets of numbers from 0 to 255. Now, the meaning of IP address is an address that uniquely identifies a device on the internet. Every IoT devices, remember by now you know the meaning of IoT. Every IoT devices has a unique address, which can be in the form of this, which is IP version 4, 2 digits separated by a dot, and or IPv6 address, which can be in form of this. Okay, so if you Google search, once again, if you Google and you type in my IP address on the Google search box, it's going to give you the IP address of the machine you are, of the laptop or devices that you are using. So the domain name system is the method that the internet uses to store domain names and their corresponding addresses. You know, sometimes it is very hard. It might be very hard to memorize a name like this. See, like, look, I'm just making this up. I am using 2 digits right? Separated by dots. I can pick 45.89.255.41. Now, to memorize this IPv4 address, to memorize it is hard. Okay, so and the internet, those that optimize internet, they devise another means of working with that. They call it domain name system. With that means something like this may be represented as google.com. And this is a lot easier for many people to remember. So when you type google.com or you type in this number into the web browser, you are talking about the same thing. I'm just looking that up. Okay, then how can you connect to the internet? You can connect to the internet through a hotspot, which is a wireless network that provides internet connection to mobile computers and devices. That is hotspot. And there is mobile hotspot that enables you to connect a phone, a computer, or other devices to the internet through cellular network. So hotspots and mobile hotspots are not same. They are not same. They are not the same, please. They are not same. So you can connect using various cellular networks, including 4G and 5G. Remember that is what is called LTE before, long-term evolution, which is a kind of 4G. When you are away from home, this comes up on your phone. It shows up. 4G, fourth generation cellular networks, can provide internet services in most locations where cellular services is offered. 5G networks provide higher speed data transmission, making them more appealing to those requiring access to higher bandwidth content. So 5Gs are better. So 5Gs are better. So 5Gs are better. 5Gs are better. Okay? 5Gs are better. So how to connect to the internet? You can connect also. Now I've talked about hotspots and mobile hotspots. Another way you can connect to the internet is through wireless networks that are available in the public spaces like hotels, restaurants, coffee locations, such as Wi-Fi networks. Wi-Fi, once again, is what? Wireless infidelity. Wireless fidelity, not infidelity, wireless fidelity. Wireless fidelity. The meaning of Wi-Fi is what? Wireless fidelity. So in our homes, there are a lot of data traveling around that we can't see with our eyes. Okay, somebody can be here sending what? Videos over the phone to somebody here. Is that not wonderful? So mobile hotspots, many smartphones contain mobile hotspot functionality, although cellular service providers may charge extra fee to use that. And any data transmitted or received through the hotspot will be added to your overall data usage. There is tethering. Tethering transforms a smartphone or internet-capable tablet into a portable communication device and shares its internet access with other computers and devices wirelessly. Okay? So tethering is about transforming your smartphone or your internet-capable tablet to a portable communication. So you can use them as a what? communication devices that can shares it with internet, with other computers and devices wirelessly. So tethering involves wireless connection, as you can see here. You can use a Netgear wireless access point for that purpose. Okay, now there's a question here. Which option provided on a cell phone enables the cell phone internet connection to be shared with a computer via a USB? That is what USB tethering. USB tethering, and so various online activities and services. You can have encyclopedias, dictionaries, directories, guides, and other types of references. You have educational websites, which offers both formal and informal training. You have business websites, which you can use to brand, to increase brand awareness, provides company background or other information. We have government agency websites that contains information such as census, assistance, such as forms for filing taxes. And a blog is an information website consisting of what? Time-stamped articles or posts in a diary or journal format, usually listed in reverse chronological order. That's a blog. That's a blog. You have several online activities, health and fitness websites, science websites, microgravity, robotics, physics, astronomy, entertainment website like for videos, for music, for performance, and so on and so forth. And there is a booking mark website. Booking marking website is a website that enables members to organize tags, share links to other media and online content. You have a tag. A tag is a descriptive text used to categorize media and invite comments. And you have social media. This is a way to invite many individuals and businesses share information and interact using the internet. People can post. Social media may be like Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, LinkedIn, and so on and so forth. Then you have online banking. So now there are pros and cons for that. Okay, for online activities and services, there are pros and cons. The pros is that you can access your web apps from any devices. You can collaborate with anybody. You can store your work on the cloud. You can save your storage space on your devices. Instead of saving all your files on your devices, save them on the cloud. You can access the latest version of the app without installing the updates. However, the cons is that you must be online to access the web apps. Without internet service, you cannot use that. Files are more vulnerable to security and privacy threats online. If the web app provider has technical problems, you may be unable to access your work. If the web app provider goes out of business, you can lose your files. Web apps often offer fewer features and may run slower than the installed apps. Those are the disadvantages of using web app. Okay, but programmers are working at it all the time to make apps more reliable. Okay. Now, consideration for online safety. How can you save your data and system? Okay. You can use what is called encryption, because if you are sending information to somebody over this medium, you have to encrypt the data so that the outsider doesn't see it. Okay. Be careful that you always work with HTTPS websites, which is a what? Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. Hypertext Transfer, Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure, HTTPS. You can secure your website with digital certificates to verify a user's identity. Okay. Now, what are the tips for online safety? Make sure the website you are accessing is safe. Turn off location sharing. Clear your browsing history. Never store passwords. Use a phishing filter. Enable pop-up or pop-up under blocker. Use private browsing and use a proxy server. I'm going to end this video here now. Thank you for listening.